Hello there, my name is David Doty. This is my individual response video for the two TED Talks we watch, Our Century's Greatest Injustice by Sheryl WuDunn and Rosling's TED Talk entitled The Magic Washing Machine. So I'll first start off talking about Sheryl WuDunn's TED Talk, Our Century's Greatest Injustice. I liked what she shared about the stories of the females who showed great strength and showed great power. For example, the story shared, I believe her name was Hubba Boo Boo, the women who, due to bad pregnancy and birth issues, she was basically put out in that house where they took the hinges off the doors and they basically left her to be eaten by hyenas. And she, with a stick, defended them off, and then she crawled, I think she said 30 miles to the nearby village, and then she made a turnaround in her life and did many great things. And Sheryl WuDunn gave many examples of these women who overcame great barriers to do many great things. And something that was very prevalent or shown throughout her stories was education. How these women were given an education. For example, Hubba Boo Boo, she was given an education to become a nurse. The other one was given an education in which she was able to help turn around her village and help her family out. When we give these girls education, they're able to take it to far extremes and better to help their community, their society, and help make the world a better place. And I like what she said about how women are not the problem, but they are the solution. And I think a lot of times women are blamed for the issues of this life. For example, this is my personal opinion, but if you go all the way back to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, Eve was the first to partake of the fruit, and I think a lot of the time the world is, if Eve didn't partake of the fruit, we'd still be living in God's presence. All would be fine because Adam had turned down temptation. But I think the world sometimes blames them because I think that's as far as we can go back in history to where a male and female are introduced. I don't believe that that is right. I think that's a world perspective that they take. I think men tend to be lazy, and because of that, they tend to. No one wants to blame themselves for the situation that they're in because that's a pride issue. No one wants to say, well, I'm stupid because I don't read. They tend to point the finger and say, this is the problem, that's the issue. And I think it's the way in history it's been pointed at women. You're the problem, blah, 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 blah. And they've been mistreated and misused. And I don't agree with the way that it has been, but I think we see that they're not the problem, but they're the solution. And when we give them education, and they're able to help better and make their lives better. I like how she ended her TED Talk by saying we have all won the lottery of life. Because I don't think we realized how blessed we are to be where we are and have this education basically given to us, and I don't think sometimes we take advantage of that. And we also all won the lottery of life because all of us basically have washing machines, and which brings me to Rosling's TED Talk, The Magic of the Washing Machine. When I served my mission in England and Wales, my washing machine broke for about 2 weeks, so I had to hand wash my white shirt. I had hot water through the sink. It's not like I had to go get a big pot and burn it over the fire. I still had hot water. It's just my washing machine broke. But I found that it was rather humbling. You take certain things advantage, and I think that's one of them. um, as well as time consuming. I spent time on my P-Day washing my shirt when there were other things I could have been doing. Um, and I think in the church, in the apostles and leaders of the church, they talk about technology is good, and that if we use technology correctly, we'll be better off in life. For example, like a dishwasher, a washing machine, and certain other things, a car, give us more time to do things. Now, how we use that extra time, I think, separates us from other people. For example, Hans Rosling spoke about, they had the washing machine, his mom then took him to the library. She learned English. He began to read Dr. Seuss books and began to boost his education. So these technologies, they give us extra time, but if we're using that extra time effectively, we can help better ourselves and also our country, our society, and our culture, and the people around us. But if we're abusing those technologies and we're using them, but we're using the time that we're given ineffectively or not the way that we should be, we'll see a decline in our society. And I think we're seeing that a lot with technology being so quick that we can, like, I just opened up my laptop, clicked the link, and I was there for the TED Talk. And there's so many, we're living in a now world where we have all this extra time, but if we're not using it correctly, we'll be kind of wasting time. We won't be bettering ourselves. And I think that's what the apostles and leaders of the church want us to do. Use this technology to better ourselves and help us lift this country and make it better. So I think that is something that the two TED Talks connected to, about education and technology, that they are interconnected. If we use the technology correctly and we use the extra time that technology gives us for education and other things, we can help better this country. And I believe that. And yeah, that's my individual video response. I enjoyed the two TED Talks. I found them very interesting and compelling.